Remembrance Day, and you know why it's so important, and why it's so important that we get it down for people to, you know, soon we old guys will not be around, and so consequently, I'm hoping, and I have a chap at Borden, and well, he did one of my CDs earlier on. When I started talking up there, and I used to have a little slide, so he made it into a CD. So I use that now when I talk to all of the, because I have the trip on Malta and all that sort of on it. And then, so hopefully, you know, I've been chatting about it, and after, you know, the torch, when I carried the torch at Christmas, the counselor, one of the alderman, said to us, that's great, if you need some money in that. So money is not the problem, because the chaps over at Borden do it for. But I said, there's the chap who does it, he's always doing it. So I would like to make sure that he got something for it. So I'm still hoping to do it. And this is, the theme will be, you know, why we should Remembrance Day, and how important it is, and sort of chat about the memorials on the continent, and the many graves and cemeteries and all that, with the row and row of all of these crosses, and how people don't, well, the school kids and that don't get to see it. But this year, or yeah, I guess it was this year, when I went to Ottawa for Andy Mackenzie's funeral, and he was buried with his wife, who, not his present wife, but his first wife, who died, and her ashes was on the mantelpiece. And so they were both buried together. But the thing that surprised me, because when I lived in Ottawa, I knew about Beechwood Cemetery, but at that time, I don't think was anything had been done. I'm talking back in '46 or so, and it was just a cemetery, I think. But now, of course, it's a national cemetery, and I guess VIPs and that, and service people can be buried there. So, and so when I went out, I was so surprised to see that it appeared just like a cemetery on the continent, and so, but it's the only one we have. But I guess all our presidents and our prime ministers and that are, if they want to be buried. So, but I have a plot in where my first wife was buried, and when I was down with my daughter, we went out to the cemetery, and I talked to the young lady, because I didn't know exactly where it was again. You know, it's grown so big. So I said, I paid for 4 of us to be buried there, my wife was already there, myself and my 2 children. So she said, "Oh no, you can't. It's only it's now that you can only have 3." And so I said, "I have a contract." So she got on the machine and she said, "You're right." So it's grandfathered.
Ah, very good.
So that's really that's basically what I was looking for is to pass on, because I keep talking to people to tell their stories, and of course, but they don't seem to get time, or they don't think it's important, or they don't think they are important. And I just say, we all have stories.
Yeah, and they're all very important.
And now, having been the Honored Colonel of 427 for these years, I keep saying to these people, because we've been flying in squadron since 1971, and so a lot of the people who were flying then have long since retired, and so and I keep saying, why don't you put down some of the things that have happened to you over the last year, because in a few years you won't be around, and people will be saying, well, we did have helicopters and that back there. Whatever happened to them? There'll be no stories.
That's right.
And so that, I don't know whether the word is annoyed or disappointed, I guess, that we can't, because it's just like getting volunteers. You say, "Oh, will you volunteer?" "Oh, no, I don't know anything about it." I said, "That's fine." The kids don't know that you don't know anything about it. So, and I said, what's happened is that as you get involved with something you don't know very much about, the next thing you're reading up on a book or finding the rules and regs, and then you're surprised and you think, geez, that's good, and you get and the next thing you're an expert. and so, but people don't think, I've never played baseball or I've never played hockey. I said, become a manager or something, and then the next thing maybe you'll be a coach. I said, that's what happened to me with my kids for growing up. I coached with all slipping out of my Air Force days to go and take my son to a hockey game or that, or football. And as I say, I knew a bit about these, but then you get deeper into it. So there you are. That's volunteers and within our own squadron, within our own association, how difficult it is to get people either to write something or be part of a director or anything, just to be a help in the system. And it takes little, well, as I say, takes little or no, not much time of your day, and as I say, as you get into it, the next thing is you're doing a lot more. So, but That's people seem shy or feel that they can't do it, but that the word can't is not